I always look beautiful. So
Your eyes has got me at this moment.
thank you. It works. That's how I get all these interviews.
Completely married in love with my husband, but your eyes are beautiful.
Thank you. So, we're good? Are we rolling? Okay. All right. So, I'm here with the lady that just decided to shut down CPAC, the lovely Miss Sonnie Johnson. You weren't even supposed to be at CPAC. Tell us about this. What went down?
Well, it really, I'm here because Maj invited me. So Maj is one of those special people that you meet in life. And no matter what he asks of me, I know it's not going to be anything that appeals upon my character or my integrity. So whatever he asks of me, I will say yes. And so when Maj asked me to come to be on his panel, there was no way I would turn it down. And that's why I'm here, because of Maj Toure and Black Guns Matter.
I love one. That is the perfect answer because we wouldn't be doing this interview if Maj didn't get this media booth that he hasn't been in all weekend. We've literally been set up.
He's a busy man.
He is, but that's the thing. Like, he will still extend those opportunities to anybody that he sees doing genuine work, and that's probably the biggest thing that I love about
And then
him.
who works harder than Maj? Right?
Literally nobody.
So when I'm looking at Maj and I'm seeing his touring schedule and I'm seeing the cities that he's going through, and I'm seeing the places that he's going through, and he's looking at people like you and me, and he's looking at us like, yo, protect yourself, defend yourself, be the arbiter of your own safety.
Right.
And then not just that, but how can we teach you de-escalation? How can we teach you how to maneuver within liberty in a way that helps you maintain it? Like, the intelligence of Maj Toure is not to be understated. And of course, he has good taste because he brought me.
Right. I always look at y'all as like, you're the female version of Maj. And it's funny because, like, I'm around Maj all the time, and now I have another counterpart who is like a smaller female of you. So it's like, he's really starting to make that effect, and it's trending through generations. It's not just one or the other. It's not, that's one of the biggest problems, is that we have a giant gap in between Black conservatives from then and the ones that are here now. And we don't get the support because I feel like
we don't have
our messages are just completely different.
No, we don't have a gap. What the problem is we went through a historical malaise, okay? So we forgot. When you look at conservatism, if you look at the conservative movement, they will go to Buckley. They will go to Reagan. You know what I'm saying? We go back to Frederick Douglass.
Right.
We go back to Booker T. Washington. Our conservatism and the ideals that we stand for are longer lasting than anything you see in the current conservative movement as the starting point or the natural progression factor.
Right.
This was ours before it was theirs. And we need to recognize that and understand it, because that's the only way we're going to bring our history forward in a way that makes the average Republican and conservative understand it's American history. It's not just Black history. It's not relegated to one singular month.
Right.
It is history that if you do not understand, you do not understand the course of America.
Right.
And it cannot be overlooked. It cannot be marginalized. It has to be studied and understood. And for far too long, we've had kind of thought in in the conservative movement that anything related to identity is a negative. And it's not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My identity, I'm an American. I love my country, first and foremost, always. But I'm Black. And I love my people. I love my culture. I love our attachment to religion. I love our attachment to our community. I love those things about us. And it's not to say anything about anyone else's culture, but I'm damn sure going to celebrate my culture and what made me, and what makes me happy, and what makes me passionate, and what makes me a stalwart for what I do. That is the base and the core of it, and it's never going to go away. So if you think to have conservatism, you have to erase my Blackness, I'm in a rude awakening for you.
I agree, man. I could sit here and listen to you talk all day. Because you're literally, you and Maj, I would have to say, are the leaders of the new conservative movement, especially as far as Black people go. We've seen the gatekeepers at the top of the platforms essentially ride the wave. Not only do they run, they rode the wave until it crashed. And how many have you seen here? But we're here.
No. See, that's the thing. I don't like them, and I got my reasons, personal reasons. I could tell you personal reasons, but that's not why we're here. I got my reasons why I don't like them. But their non-presence is more of a symptom of what happens with conservative and Republican politics. They do the switch. So I have been here long enough that I have been through this switch multiple times. So when I first started, we had Angela McGowan. They went from Angela McGowan to Stacey Dash. They went from Stacey Dash to Omarosa. They went to Omarosa to that who shall not be named. The point is...
You can name.
No, I don't. Why would I take conversation for a lower being? And you know what I'm saying?
I feel you. Don't even give the publicity.
My point is, it's not about them. Though I have personal feelings, it's not about them. It's about the prototype that is acceptable for Republicans and conservatives. It is about these stereotypes that are acceptable for Republicans and conservatives. It is about the talking points that... So while these people change, while their faces change, their stereotypes never change.
Right.
Their talking points never change. Their negligence to Black history never changes.
Nope.
Their indifference to Black communities never changes.
The empathy more than anything. There you go. Apathy
towards Black culture never changes. So they have a prototype, and that prototype works for them in making them comfortable, as I like to say it, it sends a tingle up their leg. It makes them feel good. You know what I'm saying? They feel sexy when they hear that Blacks are slaves on a plantation. They feel invigorated when they hear that we're just too dumb to think for ourselves. And then I come along, and I'm like, bring your intellect to the table. Put your intellect on the table. Oh, Sonnie, you're so mean. Sonnie, you're so loud. Sonnie, you're so whatever it is. No, what it is I'm too intellectual.
Right.
And you're so used to your stereotypes. You're so used to your to your talking points. When you meet an actual intellectual person that knows what the hell they're talking about, you have nothing. You have zero.
Exactly.
And rather than you recognizing that and changing it about yourself, you try to put it on to me. And you call me a Black supremacist, or you call me a Black nationalist, or a Black segregationist, whatever it is. No, I am just Black.
Right.
And I am a conservative.
Stop trying to box me in.
And all that other stuff that you got, that's your insecurity and your lack of knowledge. So come here, sit down with me, and let me eat you up. I got some time on my, hands. I can use that time to make you feel incredibly stupid, and come do that. That's my answer, because I'm not going to take you seriously if you think that my intellect is anything other than the standard that I have set. If you want to go under, I'm going to make you feel bad. If you want to go over, that's smart of you, because you'll be ready.
Okay, so you mentioned on the main stage, that CPAC didn't want you here. Why do you think CPAC didn't want you here?
Too Black.
Straight
you want
up.
another answer?
Nah, I mean, I know the answer.
I can give you a politically correct answer. Like I could say, the ideology that I espouse is not one that they want equally applied to every single identity within the American circuit. So if they take that system and identify it to themselves, they're perfectly fine with it.
So do we have almost like a big pharma problem where we're just being fed medicine and not actually getting to the cures?
Yes.
That's what I feel like we're getting, because
definitely.
And just like the crack epidemic, Black people are the ones that are suffering from it the most, because we're not getting the message of actual conservatism to our people.
Black people are getting it more because we're getting it from hip hop. So we're getting the cultural aspect of it. So we're getting the build and stack, become economically independent.
Yeah. That's definitely more prominent in hip hop now.
We're getting the ideological arguments, but we're getting it from our culture. We're not getting it from the politics, right? And so the politics side of it, the fastest growing segment of Marxists in this country are young white Americans.
Whoa.
It's not us.
Yeah, wow.
It's not us.
That's crazy.
What is pushing young white America towards Marxism? is a much better question than asking why black people want free shit. Because even in the last election cycle, where they were like, black people want free shit, we had the chance to vote for Bernie Sanders. We turned it down and voted for Joe Biden. Yeah, we didn't vote for Republicans because your ass didn't give us a choice.
Right.
But when it was socialism put on the ballot or Biden, we chose Biden. If we wanted strictly free shit, we would have went with Bernie. You know what I'm saying? So once again, Black America was the stalwart. We were the line. We protected and got you at least the guise of a middle of the road Democrat.
Yeah.
But young white kids and millennials, Gen Zers, however you want to label them, they're the fastest growing group of Marxists in this country. And nobody wants to have a conversation as to why that is.
Why is that?
Because they have been told that they're privileged. They have been told that they're supreme. They have been told that they walk on water. And then they get out into real life and realize they got to compete. They can't compete with us. They can't compete with us because we are set to capitalism. We are set to the idea of fighting and defeating and conquering. Like that is what hip hop has given us, that spirit of, okay, I might not be the best, I'm coming for your crown. Oh, I am the best, come for my crown, I'm gonna shut you down. Any way you wanna look at it, we have a defining philosophy of you fight, you win, you conquer. White America doesn't have that anymore. Now when any instance of them fighting or conquering, if they're like at least called colonializers or something, you know what I'm saying?
Colonizers.
Then they backed out because they don't want to be that. And they haven't found the strength to just be like, yo, fuck you, this is what we believe in, First Amendment, Second Amendment, and go through the shit, and like anything else that you have outside of that is nonsense. That's not what they do. So because of that, anytime they're charged with racism or supremacy or anything, they get defensive and they start crying and they start bickering and they want to be victims. And they sit and look at us and be like, don't be a victim, don't. And then the moment the opportunity presents itself for them, they take it and they want to be victim. So that's not a standard of conservatism. That's not an ideal that we hold fast to. It's not something that we keep in our wheelhouse. So when you see more and more and more of that professing itself, especially out of the Republican Party, you can exactly see how far away from conservatism the Republican Party has become.
Wow. I'm learning right now, just so you know. Like I said, you are one of the architects of the new Black conservative movement. I don't even have any more questions for you, Sonnie. You killed this interview, and I really thought I was gonna have more questions for you, but you're answering everything that's coming to mind to ask.
And I will add, and I'll just put this on air, and this is especially targeted towards Black America and those of us who would listen to what I've had to say and say, okay, I can feel that even if I don't agree with what conservatism looks like. These are not their principles. These are not their ideologies. This belongs to us. It was ours before they ever touched it. It was ours before they ever defined it. It was ours when we were building Black Wall Street. As long as we decide that it is ours, I don't care about the white supremacy. I don't care about the white guilt. I don't care about any of that shit. Because when you realize the power that we have, we are invincible. So bring that shit. White supremacy has never beat us in this country.
Never.
White guilt or white, like that shit has never come up in the aspect of what we have to fight against.
Right.
What we actually have to fight against comes in the form of policy. It comes in the form of law. It comes in the form of regulation. It comes in the form of taxation. We're on the wrong battlefield. So let's go and fight in policy. Let's go and fight in law. Let's go and fight in regulation. And let's go and fight in taxation, because that's where the real power is.
Right.
This stupidity of arguing about low-level, no-name, no intelligence having white people just to say supremacy is a fool's errand. Let's go after the parts that actually matter. And if we do that, then we'll have a dynamic future for Black America based on our conservatism, not something that someone else gave us.
So, where do you see CPAC and the GOP going in the next 4 years?
What do I see black people going in the next 4 years? Okay, for black people in the
For
next 4
black
years.
people in
Like I
conservatism.
can't answer for people that I can't answer for. What I see from us is one of the stereotypes.
Well, we are it. That's what I'm
One of
saying.
the stereotypes coming out of white Republicans and white conservatives is like they'll talk about the black unemployment numbers. So, did you know that black unemployment was going down under Obama?
Yeah.
But you can't say that, because if you say that, then they say you're trying to give Obama credit for what Trump did. Okay, well, black unemployment was also going down under Bush. See, what the constant is black people, not y'all.
Right.
Every time you try to define us, you try to define us by you instead of by what we are doing.
Wow.
We have fought like hell to come back from redlining and racism and
War on
the
drugs.
crime bill, the war on drugs. We have fought like hell to come back from that. Now you see us coming back from that, and you want to use the metrics of you to define us?
Right. Don't box us in.
Which one of you were in office when we decided to heal our families? Which one of you were in office when we decided to be economically independent? Which one of you were in office when no. Remove yourself from this situation for just a hot second and actually give it to the people that did the damn work. And that is supposed to be a principle of conservatism.
Right.
That you do not credit politicians for the work of the people. But when it comes to black people, you want to credit politicians for what we have accomplished and give us credit for nothing? So you tell us all we want is free shit. Well, if we wanted free shit, why is our unemployment level so low? Because it seems like we will work for some shit. We don't want it free.
Right.
So which one is it? Which talking point are you going to stick to today? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's the thing that needs to be broken so that people can see a clear image of what we are today, not the stereotypes or talking points that they've been fed in the past.
I hope you can see the gears turning in my head as you speak. But again, I have no more questions. Plug everybody right now. Plug yourself right now so everybody knows where to find you, where to listen to you, all of that.
At Sonnie Johnson, SONNIE. If you put the Y, you're being a dick. Don't do that. You can find me on SiriusXM Patriot 125 every single Saturday, 1 to 3, where we do Sonnies Corner. Excellent conversation. I definitely would tell anyone to tune in. I have the most fun on Twitter as far as my social media is attached.
I've seen.
So you definitely want to make sure you're following me on Twitter.
All right, awesome. Hey, go support, go follow the lovely Sonnie Johnson. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you so much for having me.
Man. Oh, it's done.